Hey crypto friends, for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Garrett and welcome to Altcoin Radar. Today guys, I'm going to show you a super easy method to make $100 a day trading crypto with leverage, all right? That consists of literally just 5 super simple steps to follow, literally, okay? This is no scam. This isn't me trying to pull one on you or anything like that. This is a legitimate thing, okay? It's literally easier than you think. It really is, all right? And for those of you who are new to the channel, if you are interested in trading on the same exchange that I use, feel free to go ahead and try the MEXC crypto exchange, okay? You can find a link to it in the description below this video. I personally love this exchange simply because, one, they allow you to trade crypto futures. In addition to that, I'm a huge altcoin trader, and they have over 1,500 different altcoins for me to trade, and they add new ones on a regular basis. So I love this exchange. Plus, it's not big like Coinbase and Binance and stuff like that. So they really don't have a lot of the big mainstream drama that all the big exchanges have to deal with on a regular basis. So it's kind of nice, working with an exchange that's like that as well. So, all right. So to get this video actually started here, all right, the first thing I want to talk about here real quick is you are going to need at least $500 in your futures trading account in order for this to work, okay? Obviously, there is going to be a minimum requirement for any type of video like this, and it's definitely risky as well, but it's definitely not impossible or anything like that, all right? And the main things that I'm going to be using in this video to show you exactly how to do this, the main things I'm going to be using in this video are literally just chart patterns, support and resistance, and the RSI indicator. That's literally it, just 3 simple things, all right? So I'm literally going to take you through this step by step, okay? Literally step by step. You can't get any easier than this, all right? So the first thing you want to do is obviously you want to create a TradingView account if you have a TradingView account, okay? So once you have your TradingView account, all right, step 1 is going to be open your charts, okay? You want to open your charts and you want to find a coin with good volume, okay? Now, when I'm talking about a coin with good volume, I'm talking about pretty much any coin that's within like the top 30 on CoinMarketCap. Pretty much any of these coins are going to have good volume, okay? So I'm talking about coins like Cardano, BNB, Dogecoin, Polygon, Polkadot, Litecoin, Cosmos, Atom, Monero, stuff like that, okay? You want coins with good volume, a lot of daily volume, okay? These are the coins that are going to be moving the most in the market, all right? So for the sake of this video, I'm going to be using Cosmos Atom, since it's one of the only charts that I really don't have anything drawn on it yet. So that's kind of why I'm going to use it. Let me go out, actually put it out to the daily chart. All right, so the very first thing you want to do, open your charts, find a coin, okay? So for the sake of this video, I'm using Cosmos Atom, all right? The second thing you want to do is you want to add the RSI indicator, okay? Now what you're going to do, if you're new to this stuff and you don't really know what you're doing, you want to go up here to indicators on TradingView, and you want to click it, and you want to just type in RSI. And it's going to come up saying relative strength index. You're just going to click it, and it's going to come up with something like this in the bottom. It's not going to be the same colors or anything like that, but you can change your colors to anything you want. What you'll do is you'll go to where it says RSI down here, and you'll go to the little cog icon or the gear icon, and you'll just click it, and you can change your colors to whatever you want and stuff like that. So that's pretty much why I have it, the way I have it. So you want the RSI indicator. The next thing you want to do, which is step 3, so step 3 is you want to go ahead and you want to go to the 1-hour chart. You want to go to the 1-hour chart and you want to start making your main support and resistance levels, okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to click this D up here, and we're going to go to the 1-hour chart, all right? So here's the 1-hour chart. Now we want to make this bigger so that we can see what we're working with here. We can see the actual candles. So here's the thing, okay? Each candle represents 1 hour, okay? So keep that in mind, all right? So what we want to do here, you guys, is we want to actually start making our support and resistance levels. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to this left side, and we are going to go ahead and grab the horizontal line tool. So where it says horizontal line, you'll just click it. And we want to start marking out where our support and resistance levels are. So clearly we can see here, a new 1-hour candle has just formed, and we can clearly see that based on the current levels where we're at, this is the current swing bottom, okay? This wick right here. So we will mark this with a support level line, all right? Now, the next swing low that I can see is right here, okay? Right here. So we will go ahead and mark this one as well, all right? We'll go ahead and mark that. That's another good support level. Now our first resistance level is going to be right around in here. We can clearly see this area of resistance right here. So we'll go ahead and mark this one. And then we have another little one up here as well. So we'll go ahead and mark that one too. All right. Now, I don't think that it's going to go any higher than this, or I don't think it would go any higher than this in the short term of things, but you never know. If it does, just in case, I will mark the next resistance level as well, which would be, I mean, the biggest one is going to be up here, obviously, the biggest one for the short term, but, you know, we're just going to go ahead and go with this one right here, all right? So we'll go right there. So we've clearly got some good solid support and resistance levels here going on, okay? I mean, technically these down here are levels too. You know, technically we could make this technically we could make this a resistance area too, and this area too, but I mean, realistically, I'm not gonna go that far into depth, okay? So we've got our support and resistance levels, okay? Pretty much what it is you are basically marking out where the swing highs and swing lows are, okay? So as you guys can clearly see, based on these levels of where the wicks ended, you can clearly see where the majority of support and resistance would be, all right? It's literally as simple as that. There's nothing really to it, all right? So now that we've got our areas of support and resistance and we've got our RSI, all right, we can move on to number 4, okay? Number 4 is we are going to find any chart patterns. We want to find chart patterns that we can see, and we want to draw them, okay? Now, if you don't know what chart patterns are, you can go to my channel. I actually have a video in my playlist section. If you go to playlists and you click on technical analysis, I have a video in my technical analysis playlist. Let me see if I can get it up here actually. So yeah, in my technical analysis playlist, I have a bunch of videos on all kinds of different trading chart patterns. I mean, literally, I have a bunch of chart patterns right here, okay? These are all different chart patterns, so you want to look for chart patterns like these. If you want to learn about individual ones, go ahead, feel free to watch them. They're not long videos at all. So in your spare time, if you want to learn about them, go ahead, watch them, whatever. All right, other than that, we want to be finding our chart patterns here, okay? So we'll go ahead and we will start drawing them. So I will come to this line again and we'll click on trend line, okay? So trend line means we can basically, you know, make a trend line pretty much anywhere we want based off of, you know, where the wicks currently are, okay? So basically what I can clearly see here, the only trend we've got going on here right now on the 1 hour chart is we can go ahead and we can start this one off right here. No, that's not gonna be right. We'll go ahead and start it from right up in here. And we'll come down right there, and we can clearly see that this is the trend. Obviously, we are currently dropping hard right now, and we have been for a while. And then I guess we can go ahead and create another line right in here from this low to this low. So you guys can clearly see we are working within a small little wedge here, okay? All right, so the next thing we want to do is, and the other thing is you can also, with these patterns, if you want to see where the overall market is as a whole, you can move out to other, you know, bigger time frames too, like the 4 hour or the 1 day, and draw your patterns on there as well, because there will be different patterns in larger time frames as well, okay? But we're going with the 1 hour chart, and we're trading with the 1 hour chart today, so that's what we're basing this off of, okay? So here's the thing, right? The next thing we want to do is step 5. All right, so step 5 is we're just going to be analyzing the market and trying to see where it could potentially go next. I'm going to show you how I personally do that, okay? So here we can clearly see, if you don't know anything about RSI, the RSI indicator, it's pretty much a momentum indicator. So basically when we are below this 30 line way down here, which is the bottom line, that pretty much means that we are way, way, way oversold. The market is way oversold, and 9 times out of 10 when things are oversold, if conditions are good, we will start to trend upwards and it'll start to correct itself upwards, okay? Same thing as if we're, you know, at this line up here. If we're at this line up here, you know, typically it means that the market is currently overbought and we are going to eventually start dropping, okay? Let me see if I can find some examples in past times, okay? So clearly, as you guys can see it right here, in this chart, so we were, right when we were up here, we were overbought way up here. We were towards the peak of this rally right here, the peak of this rally, and we started to drop after that. And as you guys can clearly see on the RSI, okay, and then we started dropping to the oversold territory right here, and it started, we started printing green candles again and going upwards, okay, and then we went sideways for a while, okay. So that's pretty much how that works and where you can see that. Here's another good example. We were all the way down here. Market was completely way oversold, as you guys can clearly see it on the RSI, and we ended up shooting straight up after that, okay? And that's pretty much how that works, all right? Now, it's not accurate 100% of the time, but it is a lot of the time, okay? So here is how we would do this, all right? This is what we're going to do next, all right? So how do you actually analyze the market and figure out when you should buy and stuff like that? So everything has to do with these 1 hour candles, okay? Everything is going to be, all of your decisions are going to be based on what these 1 hour candles do, okay? And where your support and resistance levels are, all right? So actually, realistically here, I'm going to go ahead and put another support, another resistance line, or another line right in here, okay? So we've got another line right in there, all right? And let's see here. So that's another solid layer of resistance, all right? So clearly what I'm going to do here is clearly we can see, based on the right-hand side, you can clearly see that, here, let me make this bigger. You can clearly see that, a new 1 hour candle recently started 9 minutes ago, okay? So realistically, what I'm going to do is if I was coming in here right now, what I'm going to do is I want to go ahead and I want to wait until this next candle closes, okay? I want to wait until this candle closes, or you could potentially get in right now based off of how the previous candle went, okay? And how that works is you can clearly see that the previous candle dropped, okay? And what had happened was it closed pretty much, it closed above, or it closed below this support line, okay, and then it started going upwards again, okay? So a lot of people would typically end up putting in their position right after this next candle opens, and then they'll market based off of what the previous candle did, okay? So obviously, what happened was this previous candle went all the way down to this support level, but it did not go through this support level. It rejected it. It rejected it and started going upwards. So because of that fact, because it rejected it and started going back up, traders noticed that and they placed their orders to go long. Okay, they placed their orders to go long so they could profit from it going upwards because they could clearly see that the momentum shifted and it started to go upwards, okay, because clearly this wick right here tells us that, all right? So you place your long right down in here or right at this layer of support. Therefore, once it goes through support, you'll be in and you'll be going up with it. So if you place it right at that support level, ride it all the way up to this next support level, or resistance level, which it just did and it just went through, then that's a good thing, okay? So let's just see where you would be at if that happened. So clearly, if you got in right down in here, literally just within the last few minutes, if you got in right down in here and rode it all the way up to here just now, let's see how much you would have made just from that little bit. So if you were trading the crypto futures market and you were using leverage, so realistically, here's what you would do, okay? You buy in right there and you buy right in there, right at that layer of resistance right there. And then you hold on until this next layer of resistance, okay? So realistically, you would have made roughly 1%, okay? Roughly 1%. Now, if you are using, let's say you're using 10x leverage, which is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about using leverage, because you use leverage in crypto futures, you would have made roughly, instead of a 1% profit, you would have made a 10% profit because 1 times 10 is 10, okay? So obviously, instead of that 1%, you would have made 10%, okay? So realistically here, let's say you had $500 in there, okay? This is just a very, very, very small profit example, okay? So realistically, let's say you have $500, okay? You go ahead and you multiply that by, let's just say it was just 1%, okay? It wasn't 1%, but let's say it was. So we'll go ahead and multiply that by 0.1. You would have only made roughly $5 on that trade, okay? So realistically, instead of that, $500, we'll go ahead and multiply that by, a good 10% instead, okay? So you would have made roughly $50 on that trade if you were using your entire $500 towards that, okay? Now, here's where it gets interesting, okay? Instead of now this is what I'm talking about here when I'm saying you want to pay attention to where the candles are moving. So the current candle, there's 47 minutes left on, okay? Next, what you want to do is you can make your decision here. If you want to go ahead and sell out and make a little bit of tiny profit, go right ahead. But realistically, the other thing you could do is you want to wait and see where this next candle is going to form. So if this candle stops, let's say the candle is about to stop and it's about to form another candle, okay? If this candle closes below, if this candle closes below this layer right here, this, let me go ahead and draw it. If this candle closes below this line, come on, I suck at drawing. If this candle closes below this line, then we can go ahead and assume that it's probably going to end up going down, okay? And typically that's usually what happens, okay? If it closes above this line, then that's bullish. That is very good news. That means that means the momentum is still shifted, and it's going to probably most likely going to continue upwards. And here's where it gets really interesting. If that happens, then what you can do is, you know, obviously you've been holding on since right here when you bought in. If you hold on right down here and you ride it all the way up to here, you know, which is the next resistance level, and if it goes all the way up to this next resistance level, instead of that 1%, you would have made roughly 3.2%. Or with leverage, you would have made roughly, I don't even know what that is, 3.2 times 10. 3.2 times 10. You would have made I'm so bad at math. You would have made 32% instead. So realistically here, we'll go $500 and multiply that by, you know, 0.32%. You would have made $160 that day, okay? Just from that one trade, okay? Just within a couple of hours, you guys. Literally, that's just a couple of hours with these 1 hour chart candles, okay? So realistically here, you guys, that is how it works with support and resistance and using RSI. And we can clearly see, you know, obviously RSI is down, so realistically it's due to go north, which is why it clearly did, okay? So that is how you can really put the 2 and 2 together and really see. Now, I know I've talked about a lot in this video, and it probably seems a little bit confusing, especially if you're kind of new to this whole thing. But the more you start using it and the more you start using strategies like this, the more it will start to make sense as time goes on, and you will start profiting a lot more in the long term, more and more as time goes on, okay? So realistically here, you guys, you know, overall, you want to pay attention to all of these different things, okay? Support and resistance, your charting patterns, figuring out where the overall market is as a whole, and your overall RSI and where the market is currently trending as well, okay? So if you are looking for faster profits and you're interested in day trading, you know, hey, a strategy like this is very, very nice to use, because here's the thing, you guys, all right? The support and resistance lines that we drew here, they're literally they're literally the same lines that a lot of other traders are currently using as well, okay? Every other trader around the world that's currently trading on the 1 hour chart, on day trading the 1 hour chart, and they're currently trading at them, I guarantee you they all have their lines at the same exact levels right now. So that's why trading with support and resistance like this works like a charm, you guys, okay? So realistically, again, you really got to make sure, know what you're doing. But with these 5 steps, you can really easily make $100 a day with no problem whatsoever. Now, here's the thing. I'm not guaranteeing you that you're going to be able to sustain $100 a day for 5 days a week or 7 days a week, you know, 4 weeks in a row. I'm not saying that that's going to happen, okay? Because here's the thing. There's nobody on this planet who is 100% with their trades. There's nobody on this planet that wins 100% of their trades. That's unrealistic. That does not happen, okay? Everybody loses trades, so you have to make sure that in your mindset, you have that mindset as well, okay? That's how you become a better trader. You have to have a realistic expectation with this kind of thing, with these kinds of things as well. So, all right, guys, I know I talked a lot here. I talked a hell of a lot in this video, but overall here, though, if you have any questions about any of this stuff whatsoever, feel free to leave me a comment below this video, okay? I love helping people out. That's the reason why I started this channel. So, again, if you got questions, don't be shy. Feel free to ask, okay? Other than that, you guys, that's going to pretty much be it for this video. So I will go ahead and wrap this one up. But again, guys, before you guys leave, go ahead and make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a new crypto and altcoin video from me on a regular basis. And hey, guys, with that said, thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the comment section down below of my future videos. So thanks.